let us now discuss about second level caching, various types of caching are available. So first I will show you an example. Based on it I will take the discussion forward. Yeah, see here, see this code. I am saying session.get a book with an ID 2 times. Session.get, the ID is same. Tell me how many queries will be fired? 1, because by default first level cache is enabled. For the first time whenever it is session.get, that will be fetched and it is in persistent state. Second time when you call session.get, first it will check whether is it already present in first level cache. If it is present in first level cache, it will return it without firing a query. So here in this case you are seeing the importance of first level cache. By default in Hibernate, first level cache is enabled and first level cache is mandatory. Okay. Now see this query. Now tell me how many queries will be fired? 2, because I am creating a new session. In that session I am loading. So book was there in the first session and I closed the session. Then the book became detached. Opening a new session, new persistence context. So second query also will be fired.
What if you didn't do the session 1 close?
Even if I don't say session 1 dot close, what am I doing? Session 1 will be there. That is separate cache. Session 2 on calling on session 2 dot get.
So it has to again go.
Yeah, it has to again go to it. Right? Now this is firing 2 queries because first level cache is at session level. Right? First level cache is configured at session level. Generally, tell me, if you are using JTA transactions, if I commit the transaction, session will be automatically closed. Right? So can I say that scope of first level cache is transaction? Yes. Right? Because Hibernate always recommends to use JTA, even though you are using single database also, better to use JTA. Right? So the scope of persistence first level cache is transaction scope. Right? Now if I want only a single query to be fired in this case, I can enable second level cache. By default second level cache is not enabled. We have to enable it by using some configuration. I'll tell you what I am doing. Assuming that second level cache is enabled, right? Now here I opened from factory, I opened a session, right? And I fired a query. It will be, the book object will be present inside the persistence cache or first level cache. Then I am closing the session. Right? Now once I am closing the session, did I close the factory?
No.
I am not closing. Second level cache is at factory level. So for one session factory, one second level cache. Once I close the first level cache, the data, the objects present in first level cache will be coming to second level. So now again I am opening a session from same factory now in this case. When I say session 2.get, it will see whether this book with this ID is present in first level cache. No, it's a new session, right? No. After, if it is not present in first level cache, it will see, is this book with same ID, is it present in second level cache? Yes. So it will not fire a query, it will retrieve it from the second level cache. So if second level cache is enabled, we can reduce the number of queries. Second level cache is at factory level and first level cache is at transaction level. So we say that first level cache is transaction scope cache and second level cache is factory level, or we say for one application we'll have one factory only, or for one server for one application. We say that second level cache is a process level cache. Tell me, if I start my application server, is it a new process?
Yes.
And my EJB container, web container, these are all threads inside the same JVM process, right? So factory is at a process level. Sorry, second level cache is at a process level. So we call that second level cache as a process scope cache, right? Okay. Once you understand this, there are three types of caching scopes. Transaction scope cache, nothing but first level cache. Process scope cache, nothing but second level cache. But if your application is in a clustered environment, you will be having clustered servers. There also, second level cache has to be replicated on each of the cluster. There also, then we say that second level cache, if you are using clustered application, then we say that second level cache is nothing but clustered scope cache, right? So there are two types of caching only, first level, second cache. These two are nothing but second level caches, right? In this case, when you are clustering, it is the responsibility of the clustered server to replicate the second level, right? So these are the various scopes. Next. Now, once you understand this, again I will come to this example. Tell me the data in first level cache, the objects in first level cache, are they thread safe? What do I mean by thread safety? If two threads are accessing same data, then there should be no synchronization issues. Then only we say that the object is thread safe. The data present in first level cache is thread safe because, see, one single thread, whenever we call a particular method, we will get a session and we are closing the session inside the same thread only. So only one thread will be accessing the data present in session. So always the data present in session object is threads. Now tell me, data present in second level cache, is it thread safe? No, because at a particular point there can be n number of transactions going on. Factory is same. From same factory I can open 100 sessions, right? For each session there is a first level cache, but for all the sessions second level cache is same, right? So second level cache is shared by more than one thread. Can I say like that?
Yes.
So when something is shared by more than one thread,
It's not
it's not thread safe. So the transactions, let's assume that there are three transactions: transaction 1, transaction 2, transaction. Transaction 1 has fetched some data from second level cache. Transaction 2 has fetched same data from second level cache. Transaction 3 also has fetched from same data from second level cache. Transaction 1 is updating the same data, right? And then has committed it, right? Can I say that transaction 2 and transaction 3 are now working on stale data? See, three transactions have fetched the data from second level cache. Don't go to database now. Assume that in second level cache some data is there. Three transactions, transaction 1, transaction 2, transaction 3 has fetched same set of data from second level cache, right? First transaction is making some modification to that data, committing it, right? Now once the first transaction is committed, can I say that two transactions, transaction 2 and transaction 3 are working on stale data? They are not in sync with database, right? So transactions are not isolated from each other. First transaction is affecting the second transaction, right? So now when using second level cache, we face lot of isolation issues, transaction isolation right? Suppose talking about database, how are we configuring for isolation? We can configure various isolation levels. There are 4 types of isolation levels: read committed, read uncommitted, serializable, right? I showed you, right? The values for 1, 2, 4, 8, repeatable read, right? So at database level we are configuring the isolation levels. Okay, we are avoiding, we are able to handle isolations, make sure that transactions are isolated by configuring some isolation levels, right? But how do we make sure that the transactions are isolated in case of second level cache? So in this case of second level cache, we need to configure concurrency control strategy. There are various concurrency control strategies provided by Hibernate. We have to configure the strategies for second level cache. And again, before even going to those configurations, tell me, second level cache, is it good for each and every class? No, it is not good for each and every class. Second level cache is not enabled by default, it is disabled. You have to enable it selectively. How to take a decision whether this particular class is eligible to be cached in second level? Suppose if there is a class in which your application is updating objects of that class frequently, is making updates, then is it eligible for second level cache? No. If you have a table where you are performing mostly read-only queries, then it is better to have second level cache, right? So if your class, if the objects of this class are updated frequently, then this will make the cache to be invalidated, because updated objects are frequently updated. So cache will be invalidated many times, which will result in performance issues. So second level cache is not good, so good for all scenarios. You have to selectively enable second level cache per class. So if you have 20 entities in your application, you have to selectively enable. Maybe you can just select only few classes. Let's assume that among 20 entities in my application, I selected only 5 to be eligible for second level cache. So only for that classes I need to enable second level cache, right? Okay, first of all, see how to configure the second level cache, how to enable it, right? Okay, before you understand how to enable, you need to understand Hibernate is not having its own caching policy or caching implementation. Second level cache, Hibernate does not have its own implementation of second level cache. There are various caching solutions already available in the market. Hibernate will just integrate with those caching solutions available in the market. Hibernate does not provide its own solution for second level caching. It will use existing ones, right? It will use some third party vendors. It will integrate with some third party caching solutions available in the market, right? Now to tell about it, these are the various cache providers with which Hibernate will integrate with. Hash table cache provider, EH cache provider, OS cache provider, JBoss cache provider, Swarm cache provider. These are the cache providers with which Hibernate will integrate. Now, caching. Whenever I say caching, is it only in memory or is it in disk? No, it can overflow to disk also. Let's take operating system. Are you configuring virtual memory also?
Yes.
Virtual memory will go into disk also. There also it's caching. But in we are saying that as virtual memory. So caching means it need not be necessarily in memory itself. It can be on disk also. Just like virtual memory for operating system, right? So now see here, hash table is supporting only memory. This caching, if you are using this caching, it is support only memory. So it may require more memory sometimes, right? EH cache supports caching in memory as well as disk also. If the memory is not sufficient, automatically it will go to disk. Just like operating system, we have some 1 GB of RAM in our systems. If that 1 GB is not sufficient, it will use virtual memory, right? Similarly, each cache provider can be used for configured to use memory as well as, and all of these are cluster shaped. All of them can be used in clustered environment also, right? Among all, most commonly used caching provider is EH cache. So what I'll do is I'll show you how to integrate Hibernate with EH cache, right? Now once you know that there are various third-party caching providers and I want to use EH cache, let us see how to enable second level cache. To enable second level cache, in the cfg.xml file, we have to write this property cache.provider class. As I showed you various classes there, EH cache provider. So now you are telling that your application is using second level cache. If you don't write this, second level cache is disabled. If you write this, second level cache is enabled. Right? Now, once you write this, you need to understand again, in second level cache is nothing but temporary memory. In second level cache is divided into regions, logical regions. Okay. So for every class I selected to be eligible for second level cache, I will configure a logical cache region, right? So one class region per class which I select, right? So this class region is not physical, it is just a logical division, right? Now where to configure the class regions? See here, for each cache I need to write a file called ehcache.xml, which should be located inside the class path or source directory. And in ehcache, root tag is ehcache, and I am saying what is the disk store. I said this cache can overflow to disk also if memory is not sufficient. I am just giving a Java temp directory, means it is stored in the temporary directory of my operating system, right? And forget about default cache now. See this cache, name of the cache is some qualified name of the book object, right? Book class, right? So here I am configuring the cache region for this class. The name of the cache region will be qualified name of the class, right? So I configure here. I am saying for this cache region with this name, what is the maximum elements allowed to be in the cache? 10,000. And also here you can see time to live in seconds, means this cache should be invalidated after every 600 seconds, because whenever we are using second level cache, the data inside second level cache can become stale regularly. So we don't want to hold second level cache for longer time. We may want to invalidate the cache after every regular intervals. So here we are configuring time to live seconds, 600. Means after 600 seconds, automatically this cache will be invalidated, right? Then time to idle seconds. If you are not accessing anything from this cache for 300 seconds, again it will be invalidated. And overflow to disk, means if memory is not sufficient, it can overflow to disk also. So like that we have configured a cache region and specified how many elements can be there in the memory. This configuration has to be done selectively according to your application. Maybe if you are expecting 10,000 elements of this class to be available in memory at a time, you can enable it, or less, right? Here we are configuring the cache regions for the selected classes which are eligible for second level cache, right? You need not specify. Suppose if I selected 5 classes to be eligible for second level cache, but now I will configure only 3 cache regions. For 3 exactly classes, I specified class region. For 2, I didn't specify any class region, they will go into default cache. we have to specify at least one default cache, right? Here I have configured all the default cache similar to this one, default cache. So if I select 5 classes to be eligible for second level cache, and if I don't give a cache tag for a particular class, it will go to the right. Now, how to make your class eligible for second level cache? Till now I didn't talk about it. See here. Yeah, I'll tell you. Come here. Let me complete this. Here, in the class tag for book, I want the book to be eligible for second level cache. Right? Cache usage is equals to read only I give. I'll talk about what is the meaning of read only slowly. I am saying read only. If I write a tag like this, cache tag like this, then automatically this is eligible for second level cache. So in my 5 classes which I selected out of 20 to be eligible for second level cache, I need to specify cache tag, right? Any notes? Now, I told that second level cache is not transactional safe, it's not thread safe. I need to specify some transactional policy, just like for database we specify isolation level. Just like that for cache regions also, we need to specify what is the transactional policy. By default, these are the strategies for caches which are enabled for second level cache. These are the names: transactional, read write, non-strict read write, read only. Just like isolation levels, here transactional, if you configure strategy as transactional, it is equivalent to repeatable read isolation level of database. Okay, if I make it read write, this maintains read committed isolation level is equivalent to read committed isolation level of database. So for each concurrency strategy, it is equivalent to one of the isolation level, right? So now, whenever you are enabling second level cache for a particular class, you need to specify the concurrency strategy, right? So that is what you are seeing here. Read only is the concurrency strategy for that cache region. Okay? Windows. Now, yes, we are. 1 minute, 1 minute. What will be the name of the cache region for a particular class? Qualified name of the class. And by default, if a class is having a collection, like user is having set of bank accounts in our application, right? For collections, a separate cache region has to be configured. So for each class cache region. For collections, all the collections will be stored in a collection cache region, right? Now tell me a scenario. Once you understand this, I'll just give you a scenario. Yeah. In this scenario, one class book is having one publisher. There is a many-to-one relationship between book and publisher, right? For book class, I enabled second level cache priority cache usage, right? So books, the objects of book will be stored in second level cache in its own cache region, right? It is having a reference to publisher. Now this publisher object will also be stored in second level cache or not? If I didn't enable second level cache for publisher class, it will not be stored inside second level cache. For each class we have to selectively enable it. For publisher class I have not enabled second level cache. I didn't write this cache tag inside the class for publisher. So publisher will not be in second level cache, right? So what will be this variable inside the book has, it has only the primary piece, right? So whenever there is an association for an entity, then only primary key of this entity will be stored inside the class cache region of book. In the class cache region of book, only book objects are stored. In the book object is having reference to publisher. In this, it will be storing only the primary key only, right? If publisher also is enabled for second level cache, then where is the publisher object going? Inside book cache region or publisher cache region? So every class will go into its own region only, right? Book, whenever you say book will go into book cache region. Publisher will go into publisher cache region only. But book is having a reference of publisher, right? It is not having a reference of object, it is just having the primary key, that's it. Okay? Similarly, whenever you have see, one book is having set of chapters. Okay, chapter is a separate table, right? Then you have to enable caching of this collection also to go into the second level cache by writing cache tag here. By default, all collections will not go inside the cache. You have to enable the second level cache. Then this set of chapters will go into collection cache region of second level cache, right? What will be the name of the collection cache region by default? See here, chapters is a collection of book, right? Let's say the qualified name of the book is com.infinite.book. The class region name for book will be com.infinite.book. The cache region name for chapters will be com.infinite.book.chapters. Qualified name of the owning class dot the variable name. So everyone will be having a separate cache region, right? In collection cache, objects are stored. It is a collection of chapter. Chapter is a separate entity, right? If at all it has to store, if at all we have to store chapter objects inside second level cache, chapters will go inside its own cache region. So in collections we will be having only identifiers, right? In collection cache regions you have only identifiers. Okay, any doubts? So these are the various ways to configure second level cache for entities as well as collections, and about query regions. So how many types of query regions we saw? Collection cache query, collection cache region, and also class cache regions. Two we have, right? And one more is there query cache region. Now suppose we are filing a HQL query, right? By default queries are not cached. The results of the queries are not cached inside second level, right? Suppose if you are filing from book, you will be getting a list of books. The result of the query is not cached inside second level cache. If you want to store the result of this query inside second level cache, what will be the advantage if I store the result of the query? Second time, if I fire the same query, it will not hit the database, it will get it from the. So sometimes it is advantageous to store results of the queries also. By default, queries are not cached. If you want to enable query caching done. See here. You have to use in tfg.xml, you have to say cache.use query cache to true, and also this will not don't work, and also whenever you are firing a query, before you fire a query, before you call query.list, whenever you say query.list, then only query is fired, right? Session.create query, you will get a query object. Query is not fired immediately after it says session.create query. When you say query.list, then only query is fired, right? Before calling query.list, you have to say query.set cache equal to true. Then only the result of this query will be stored inside second level cache, right? Otherwise, they are not stored inside second level cache, right? So, what is the name of the cache region? The query result will be cached in cache region. Query cache name is arg.hibernate.cache.query cache by default. This is the name of the query region for queries. So there are three types of query regions: cache region, collection cache region, query cache region. Alright? We already configured it, no? Wait, I'll show you the configuration. Yes. Disk store ehcache.xml. I said disk store is this path. So inside this path, ehcache may create some temporary files where it will be storing inside the disk.
And if you don't want it to be physically written, is there another way to let the server handle it as a runtime resource?
Means by default it will try to maintain its memory. Whenever memory is not sufficient, then only it will overflow to disk. It will not always go to disk. First it will be in memory, then it will overflow disk afterwards. Right? That's about second level cache. Let me start the video. Here in this example, I have got a session. Now, whenever I fire some query, whatever operations I do on this session should not interact with second level cache. So I can say set cache mode as cache mode.ignore. Second level cache should be ignored only for this session, right? This is how to disable second level cache at a session level. Okay, then next, session.evict will evict an entity from first level cache. Factory.evict, if I say like this, the whole cache region for book will be cleared, will be invalidated, right? And if I say factory.evict giving a particular ID, then it will evict only that particular book from the second level. I can explicitly do that. Evict entity, here you are giving book.class, here you are giving the class name, qualified class name. That's the only difference. You have to evict from a factory. Yes. That's about second level caching.